First of all, though, this Fortnite World Cup that I mentioned, it's kicked off. The prize money is $40 million. If you've got no idea what I'm talking about, well, Fortnite is the computer game du jour, if you like, beloved by teens and adults alike. It's a free multiplayer that spans Windows and Macintoshes, that is, and Xboxes and PlayStation platforms. And it pits players against 99 others in a frantic fight for survival on an island where the last gamer standing wins. The first round started this weekend, and the grand finals will be held in the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center in New York in July. This is such a big deal. Well, Amanda Zelauskas is staff writer for the website Fortnite Intel and can tell us more. Amanda, good to speak to you.
Hi, thank you very much for having me on tonight.
No, it's
How are
a
you?
pleasure. Very well, thanks very much. I can't believe that this computer game is the one that's taken over the world. I get that, but that it's so huge there can be a competition to win it that offers $40 million in prize money. Where does all that money come from? Who is behind this? Who's sponsoring it?
Yeah, it's kind of insane to think that this computer game that came out in 2017 is able to collect $40 million just to give out through this one event. But actually, throughout the entire 2019 season, Epic Games, the creator of Fortnite, has actually pledged $100 million. So while this event is major, this has been going on for a while now. And the reason this is because the Fortnite community is so passionate. Every day, something new comes out on the Fortnite creative or Fortnite item shop where people can purchase these skins, pickaxes, whatever, to truly create their own personality. And because of that, in 2018 alone, Epic Games was able to bring in a revenue of over $2 billion. So for them, $100 million, it's a price to play to make sure everybody's happy.
Well, yeah, if you put it in that context, I get it. Why is Fortnite so addictive, compulsive? Why is it doing better than all its rivals?
Yeah, one thing about Fortnite that people, are immediately bought into are the bright colors, the cartoonish, personality that it has, but also for the people who are so competitive, you are going up against 99 other players. Or if you're playing with a squad or a duo, whatever, you're playing against those people, and there is no exception. The best is the last standing at the end. There's no if, and, or buts. And when you toss in a couple $1 million on top of that, of course, it's definitely going to get interesting.
Is it a first-person shooter? What do they call it? Is it one of those games?
So technically, Fortnite is actually a third-person shooter. And the difference between that is a first-person shooter is where you are taking the direct perspective of that character. But with Fortnite, you're actually kind of peeking over their shoulder. So you can see the character, you can see the back of their head, you can kind of see more of the surrounding area around them. And I think that's also a reason why Fortnite sticks out. You get a little bit of a better perspective.
Is it for kids or is it for adults? And don't say both, I get that. But primarily, is it kids or adults who have turned this into a global phenomenon?
I'm actually going to be honest with you. I am 27 and I enjoy Fortnite. And I think the reason why people say it's for kids and adults is because there's no blood in Fortnite. There's no actual violence that stands out. When a player's eliminated, they kind of disintegrate into, a better way to put it, is what happened in Infinity War. They just kind of go back to the loading screen and that's it. But for me, as a complete competitive gamer who loves standing at the top, it's addictive. And that's where you get other games like Apex or, predecessors before it, like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. They stand out. People want to be on the top.
Okay, and I will agree with that. Let's talk about the competitive nature of this. First of all, how on earth do you battle 99 other people?
It's hectic. That's it. It's hectic for sure. And that's why you get people that like to land in specific places. So they kind of know what they're going into. So a good way to put it is, if you're landing into one specific city that is going to be filled with 20 other players, you also know that another city, maybe 500 meters away, is not going to be as busy. So that's where the strategy comes in. Do you want to take that gamble and take on 20 players and possibly walk out with all those eliminations. On the other hand, you can drop in and you are eliminated in 5 seconds, and that is your game.
We
That's
know,
where the addiction of Fortnite comes in.
and just earlier on this week, I think it was, we discovered that the British gaming industry is now worth more than the music industry and the movie industry in Britain put
Yes.
together. That is a somewhat surprising statistic, but nevertheless, that's where we're at. It's worth several billion pounds. And yet you think to yourself, well, where can this go now? It's worth several billion pounds, but once I have Fortnite, let's say, why do I need anything else? Why do I need to buy any other games? Is this the game that ends all games, Fortnite, or not?
I personally don't think so. Fortnite's definitely a game that's standing out as of right now, but there's always going to be another game that comes out, does what Fortnite did, and innovate, create something new that people want. So I have other games like Apex Legends that caught people's attention with, respawning, and Fortnite eventually adapted that by bringing in reboot bans. So, no, I don't think it's going to be the end all to be all, but it's definitely going to stand on top for, I'd say, another year or two.
But you've told us how competitive you are. Are you going to enter this competition? Are you up for winning that $40 million?
Oh, I would certainly be down for $40 million, but I actually have some friends who are competing in Fortnite, and I am very much happy sitting on the sidelines and rooting them on. These players have dedicated hours and hours into this. Actually, am running an interview on the female competitive Fortnite team signed by Gen.G, and they can work hours up to 14 hours a day of just playing Fortnite. And I don't have that dedication, and I am extremely proud of the people that do.
I don't want to be patronizing at all, Amanda, but I would love it if a woman won this. I would love it, only because the impression that a lot of people still have about gamers is that it's some nerdy young boy, full of zits across his face.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I competed, about 5, 10 years ago. It was fun, but being a female gamer back then wasn't a thing. Now it's definitely doable. I mean, I actually believe a couple of the Gen.G girls did qualify for the finals tomorrow. So, for all we know, those females might be walking away millionaires at the end of July.
Well, let's wait and see. And we'll get back to this. No doubt we'll speak to you again on this, Amanda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and have a great night, Dotson.
It's a pleasure. Amanda Zelauskas, there, who's a staff writer for the website Fortnite Intel.